St. Mary Netherton Daily Chronicle, Evening Edition. May 22nd, 1925. Good evening, dear listeners. Edmund Pruitt, addressing you as the village clock strikes 6 on this most unexpectedly eventful Friday. I must begin with a report on the meteorological development that has occasioned considerable surprise throughout our community. Despite Mr. Higgins's most careful predictions, a sudden change in atmospheric conditions brought forth what can only be described as a modest yet unanticipated rainfall at precisely 23 minutes past 2 this afternoon. Mrs. Hargrove, who was at that moment selecting plant supports at Mr. Fletcher's garden supply establishment, describes the precipitation as arriving with a polite but unmistakable determination. The shower persisted for approximately 17 minutes before departing eastward, leaving behind refreshed gardens and mildly dampened village spirits. The musical ensemble gathering scheduled for this evening will proceed as planned, though the Reverend Holloway advises that several instruments may exhibit what he terms temporary tonal adjustments due to the unexpected humidity. Miss Pemberton, who will be performing on the parish hall piano, has requested an additional half hour for preparation to ensure appropriate key responsiveness. The annual street lamp inspection was temporarily suspended during the unexpected shower, with Mr. Higgins and his apprentice taking shelter beneath the awning of Miss Twig's haberdashery. Work resumed promptly once conditions improved, and I am pleased to report that an additional 7 fixtures have been successfully examined. Mr. Willoughby's technical notebook suffered minor dampness, but remains legible following careful blotting by Miss Twig, using materials of appropriate absorbency. Several of Colonel Weatherby's agricultural publications, which he had been transporting to the library following their return from Miss Thompson, experienced what the Colonel describes as a regrettable encounter with meteorological caprice. Miss Pettigrew has assured him that the volumes will be placed near the reading room radiator to ensure proper restoration, though she notes that practical approaches to modern agriculture may retain a slight rippling to certain pages as a permanent reminder of today's unexpected events. The tea room became a place of refuge during the shower, with Mrs. Hartley reporting an unprecedented demand for hot tea between the hours of 2 and 3. The cherry scones were entirely consumed by 3:15, prompting what Mrs. Hartley describes as improvised refreshment arrangements involving currant buns that had been reserved for tomorrow. Constable Porter, who was conducting his afternoon patrol at the commencement of the rainfall, expressed appreciation for both the shelter and the quality of emergency provisions. Farmer Giles's turnip display attracted considerable attention despite the day's meteorological interruption. Mrs. Pemberton observes that the resemblance to Constable Porter is particularly evident when viewed from a slight angle and with appropriate illumination. The constable himself has inspected the vegetable and acknowledges what he terms a distant familial resemblance, though the turnip presents a somewhat more stern countenance. The Reverend Holloway wishes to reassure parishioners that the Starling family weathered the afternoon's precipitation with admirable composure, their recently adjusted accommodations having provided adequate protection. He suggests that their continued residence may prove beneficial during Sunday's service, as their occasional melodic contributions might enhance the musical portion of our worship in unexpected ways. That concludes our evening report. This is Edmund Pruitt bidding you good night from St. Mary Netherton, where even unexpected occurrences are received with composed dignity and appropriate perspective.